Recording in progress.
All right, Shelley Reed. Here. Alex Velto. Absent. Harris Armstrong.
Here.
Francine Donchik.
Here.
Marilyn Kramer.
Here.
Kate Nelson.
Here.
Carl Nieberlin.
Present via Zoom.
Pat Phillips.
Here.
And Carrie Rohrmeyer, also absent. We believe we have a quorum.
Next is salute to the flag. Andrea, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? It would be my pleasure. Can I get a motion?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the agenda.
Madam Chair, Commissioner Donchik, I second.
Okay, any discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll open it up for our first public comment of the evening. Do we have anybody wishing to comment?
We have not received any for this item.
Okay, perfect. We'll close public comment and looking for approval of the minutes.
Madam Chair, Commissioner Donchik, I move to approve the minutes
Should we clarify that it's the November?
for November 20th, 2023 minutes.
Okay.
Commissioner Nelson will second.
Okay, we have a motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Oppose? Motion passes. Next, we have business of the day. Director Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Jeremy Smith for the record. Item 6A is a public hearing for possible action, conformance review of the Envision Washoe 2040 master plan with the 2019 Truckee Meadows Regional Plan, and Nate Kusha is going to lead us through this.
Good evening, Commissioners. Nate Kusha for the record. As Director Smith mentioned, this is a conformance review for the Envision Washoe 2040 master plan. All right. So, just a quick overview. The Washoe Board of County Commissioners did adopt this new master plan on November 14th. Of course, that is pending approval here tonight. Staff's determination is that this does conform with the 2019 Truckee Meadows Regional Plan. So some more overview. Washoe County began this update process back in 2020, and they really had a focus on aligning this update to their master plan with state law as well as with the regional plan. So that's great for us. Some of the kind of key points is they really tried to streamline the plan to a concise and clear document. In doing so, they changed the area plans to planning areas, which was a major shift. And in doing so, they took a lot of the overarching policies that maybe apply across those area plans, moved those to the regular policy section of the master plan. And then any of those that are more development code language, they took those out and moved it to the development code where it's appropriate. In doing so, they really pared down the document from about 3, I think, huge binders to 1 clear document, which is great, and they made it a lot more approachable. So I think it's been a great process, and then we'll dive into our look at this as well. So as you guys know, we have policy RC9, which lays out the review criteria for conformance review, in this case, the entire Washoe County Master Plan. So we'll step through these quickly. So for population growth, there's a variety of policies in the population and housing element of the Washoe County Master Plan that promote a cooperative approach to affordable housing, as well as strategies to encourage affordable housing provisioning. And there are no scheduled additions contemplated for this policy section. Moving into regional form. So there's a variety of the policy elements in the master plan that conform with this section. Including the regional form of coordination and the land use element. And the Envision Washoe Plan contains directives that further the goals and policies of the regional plan with an overarching goal to demonstrate a commitment to the regional form and pattern described in the regional plan. There are 3 scheduled additions identified for this policy section. Just quickly, I'll be just numbering the scheduled additions for each of these, and we'll go through them all at the end, so just so you're aware. Moving into public facilities and services, the public facility and services element of the Washoe County Master Plan demonstrated commitment to providing facilities and services that are sustainable and adequately funded to support the forecasted population. And the policies in this element support the regional plan's vision, and all of the policy requirements of the regional plan have been met, and there are no scheduled additions for this policy section. Moving into natural resources. There are two separate elements that really address, of the Washoe County Master Plan, that address this policy section of the regional plan. And those are the conservation of natural and cultural resources element and the adaptation and resiliency element. And they present principles and policies that will preserve and enhance the unique natural amenities found throughout Washoe County. Those are kind of the main ones that address this. However, there are select policies from the Regional Forum and Coordination, Public Facilities and Services, and transportation elements that meet most of the requirements of the regional plan. And there is only one scheduled addition for this policy section that is included. Finally, regional coordination, the Envision Washoe 2040 plan, regional forum and coordination element consists of a set of cross-cutting principles and policies that target opportunities for collaboration. Policies in this section address the policy requirements outlined in this policy section of the regional plan. And there are only two scheduled additions identified for this policy section. So that was kind of a quick overview, but generally, they've done a great job. A lot of their policy elements encourage, support, and meet the requirements of the regional plan with only some select outliers, which we'll go through now. So in any master plan conformance review, we come up with what we call the list of scheduled additions. And this is really a limited number of improvements that, when incorporated, will more completely implement the objectives and policies of the regional plan. So going through these, we have 5 short-term additions that were identified. And given the adoption of the anticipated adoption, rather, of the updated regional plan later this year in October, we have scheduled these additions to really be addressed at the same time as any additions needed as a result of that regional plan update. So this spring 2025 timeframe is really reflective of that. So we're assuming that, or we know that they'll have these additions that we would like them to see included in the master plan. And then we know that after updating our regional plan, there'll probably be a variety of other additions, new things that they haven't encountered yet that we'll be asking them to add as well. So we're trying to line those all up so we just have one ask and they come back in for one conformance review and cover them all. So walk through each of these so you understand what we think is missing from the master plan in terms of meeting the requirements of the regional plan. So this first one is include language detailing the resort service areas mechanism. So in the regional plan, we have resort service areas. There is one resort service area currently, and that is the Mount Rose Ski Resort Service Area, and that is addressed in the master plan. However, the mechanism of resort service areas in general is not really recognized, and so we've just asked them to include language to that. And then second, we have include a policy provides for coordination with military installations. So again, it's not specifically called out. We've asked them to add that language in. And then addressing land use compatibility at a local level is our third one there. Land use compatibility is somewhat addressed in each of their individual land uses as kind of what is compatible within a land use, but not sort of addressed on a wider scope of land uses compatible with each other. So we've asked for that. And then include language that addresses slopes from 15 to 30%. So they do address slopes, and they address the development constraint area, which includes slopes of 30 degrees or more. They don't specifically call out the 15% to 30%. So we just ask them to include that specifically. And then finally, the last short-term one is to remove references to the Reno-Stead Corridor Joint Plan. This joint plan is no longer in existence, so just take that out. We don't need to move that. If a joint plan is put into place, they'll have to add that in. There isn't one currently. So again, these are all very minor additions that we've asked them to include. There's nothing major glaring that we've noticed that isn't conforming with the regional plan. These are all very small things that we've just asked by that spring or after our update that they add these in. And then finally, we have our one long-term addition. So the Washoe master plan itself identifies a priority implementation strategy that is really to update and revise the existing master plan land use designations, as well as the associated maps for those land use designations. This is also a key recommendation of TMRPA staff. As currently, the land use designations and the maps do not really align well with the regional land designations adopted in the regional plan. And this is especially present in Tier 3. So our Tier 3 area is kind of where there's your maximum is your currently existing land use, right? And so this mismatch causes a scenario where minor land use changes, especially in that Tier 3 land in an unincorporated county, require a regional plan amendment and a more cumbersome process. So this is something that the county already knows, county staff knows. We've been in discussions with them, and we plan to work through this with them going forward. This is going to take some time. It's a huge undertaking. There's also a lot of noticing requirements, obviously, if you're changing land uses for residents. So something we'll be working on in collaboration. It's a long-term amendment, but something that both county staff and Team RPA staff think is a great idea. So with that, there's a motion overhead, and I believe also on page 15 of your packet. If there are any questions for myself or county staff on this master plan, feel free.
Thank you, Nate. Does anybody have any questions for staff at this time? All right, well, this is a public hearing. Do we have anybody that wishes to speak, any comment cards?
We have not received any for this item.
Okay, well, we will go ahead and close the public comment and open it up for discussion. I will entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, Commissioner Donchik, I move to find the Envision Washoe 2040 Master Plan in conformance with the 2019 Truckee Meadows Regional Plan based on the findings listed in the staff report.
Commissioner Armstrong, I'll second.
Great, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, since this does require 6 members to pass, we'll go ahead and do a roll call vote.
All right. Shelley Reed.
Aye.
Harris Armstrong.
Aye.
Francine Donchik.
Aye.
Marilyn Kramer.
Aye.
Kate Nelson.
Aye.
Carl Nieberlin.
Aye.
And Pat Phillips.
Yeah, aye.
All right.
All right, motion passes. Thank you. Cute. All right, can they come to every meeting? Okay, let's move on to item 7, reports. Director Smith, we'll start with director reports.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Jeremy Smith for the record. Just a short report today. Wanted to talk about last week's community conversation to describe or to meet with the community and talk about the public infrastructure plan. Probably about maybe 40 people showed up. We got some feedback, did a presentation, really well received, got some ideas, and continuing to charge forward on that public infrastructure plan project and make some progress. With that, our next regular RPC meeting is going to be February 22nd, right here in the Washington County Commission chambers. That's what I have.
All right, great. Do we have any member reports? All right, let's do legal counsel report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Jessica Prenti for the record. Nothing to report tonight.
All right, moving along. Any requests for future agenda items? Seeing none, we'll move on to the last public comment. Do we have any public comment?
We have none for this item.
All right, I will close public comment. Do we have any written correspondence?
We do not.
All right, well, I say we're adjourned. All right. I think this is a new record. Pretty good,